Well, there's no other way to do this, but yeah. Welcome one and all. Welcome one and all.
We have a soundboard.
We are here.
We have a soundboard. Guys.
Welcome to episode 22 of the Chillin with Villains podcast. I am here, Ozymandias, joined by hailing all the way from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Zoom.
I haven't been here for a while. And just so you guys know, we're going to use this soundboard as much as we can today. So just get used to it.
And to my right, your left, Clown Prince. And shout out to Magneto, who couldn't be here. He's apple picking.
No, he's bowling now.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Oh, why do we have one?
Yeah, this is bad.
The whole podcast is going to be sounds.
But yeah, welcome to episode 22. We're going to be recapping Comic-Con because we went.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about the Joker.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about current events.
Yes.
And yeah, so just again, I'm starting this from the top right now. If you have not seen the Joker,
We're so corny.
leave right now.
Spoiler.
Yo, imagine someone's listening to this.
In their car.
Like, yeah, just bright and early in the morning. It's like, you know what? I kind of feel like listening to this podcast right now. But you know what? I'm going to put it in a nice volume. Like, let me listen to this nice, peaceful Joker review.
Alright.
But yeah,
Dummy.
So let's start with, like, I guess I'll do in chronological order because earlier in the week, I guess for my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. For my
Wish him
birthday, I
happy
received
birthday.
an amazing gift from our folks down in Disney and Sony. Where we received news that that Tom Holland will be returning. So shout out to Disney and Kevin and Tom Rothman from Sony. No, get out
No?
of here.
I can't use the soundboard?
Nah.
Put the Oh Brother.
I don't want to put the O brother. I want to put something else.
Nah, but
Oh my God! There's so much to look forward to. I'm so excited.
nah, but this is cool because we get to finish the trilogy at least.
Yes.
At least.
Yeah.
I mean, they would have finished the trilogy with.
Anyway,
They would have.
But you know,
we could do a whole separate podcast.
Yeah,
on
we
this
could do a whole
topic.
separate.
So
nah, but I'm glad he's back. Shout out to Tom, love you, and Comic-Con.
Yes.
Now hold on.
What's up?
Like I said, we could do a whole thing on it, but we also got to just remind the people, like, yeah, it's for one more solo Spider-Man film and also one more team up. So, or not even a team up, but he'll just be featured in another MCU movie.
But they'll renew it at the end of the fucking time. We all know that, right?
You think they'll renegotiate?
Yeah.
110%.
I think me and Zoom both think that this time around it was just for publicity,
For clout.
for clout.
For clout.
What, you think they were just trying to test
Fuck
the waters to
clout.
see what would happen if they
Fuck
would
clout.
Look what happened. There was the most talked about news for the past 2 weeks.
You don't think this third one's gonna beat out the entire fucking Spider-Man fucking this next one probably the most highest grossing Spider-Man film.
And
you heard it here first.
I'm calling
And then
it.
You heard it here
apparently,
first.
right? Bob Iger said, or Iger, sorry,
Iger, yeah.
excuse me.
That Tom Holland played such a huge part.
Yeah,
all of a
supposedly
sudden-
he was like the.
All of a sudden, Disney cares about what people think, what their actors think. Are we kidding? I don't know. I feel like all of a sudden Disney just grows a conscience, you know, out of nowhere. They're like, yeah,
it is a bit fishy.
I called the CEO of Sony and was like, yo, we gotta do this for the fans.
Why do you think Tom was so chill about the whole thing?
Because I think that he knew that they would come back to the table at some point. Same way.
No, you know why? Because he knew this was all just a stunt.
bullshit.
All right, we'll get
Anyway,
into
yeah,
that
sorry.
another time.
No, that's something to think about.
Yeah,
That's
it
something
is.
to think about
so,
for sure.
you know, let us know what you guys think. So, yes, now,
Comic-Con.
NYCC. Hashtag
NYCC.
Super
NYCC.
dope.
So, one thing's for sure, I think that conventions are open to critique.
Oh, 110%.
So,
we can go on and on about how unorganized everything was and how the lack of information that was given.
Before we do that,
What was
I just
that?
want to shout out New York Comic Con for having us.
Oh,
because
yeah.
they did.
We love y'all, even though you made it pretty difficult.
We did have the opportunity to go as press and professionals. The only thing was,
who went as press?
huh?
oh yeah, who won this press again?
I don't know.
It was you.
It was me.
Yeah, and all of us had to fucking be stuck with pro passes. How are they going to accept one of us as press but not the rest?
Right. That's the
toxic.
only real complaint. Well, no, we have 2 complaints. That was one.
Yeah.
And the other, so yeah, how do you accept one of us for press, but the others can't get accepted for press? We will hopefully all be press for 2020 Comic Con.
Yeah, for sure. We in there.
Yeah.
We're gonna be a bit more.
They're
prepared.
either gonna take us all as press, or they're taking none of us. They're gonna be like, okay, like, who the fuck are you guys? But now on a serious note as well, the only other thing was just the organization of it. So with press and pro badges, they gave us like we showed up there sometimes at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they were like, yeah, you guys can go on this press and pro line, and the line was very short. We're like, we're gonna get in no problem. But here's the thing: we wanted to go to panels, and in order to get into a panel, you have to reserve your seat, and in order to reserve your seat, you have to punch in your badge, and that requires waiting in a line. And if the line is too full and you are not there, you are asked out and won't be able to go to that panel. But no one told us this. No one said, okay, even if you do have a press or professional badge, you should still go there if you want to go to a panel.
Into the general.
Right, because we don't get early access into the location we want to go.
We didn't know.
We didn't know. It was our first time going.
Someone just told us to wait in this line, and we're like, all right, cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there was no like I guess cohesive sense of direction. Like it was just kind of like you were thrown in there.
Exactly.
Yeah. But
Like,
like
it was
we're
good.
here
It was
thinking like, oh, because we're pressing pro, like we'll be the first ones in line.
Yeah.
And you'll
to-
be
to-
escorted. Like there'll be somebody there to guide you through, but we didn't even get that.
So luckily we got into all the panels we wanted to get into.
Thank God.
Yeah. But yeah, we can start talking about it. I mean, thank God me and Zoom went Thursday.
Yeah.
Because we originally
we
were not
went all
gonna
4
go.
days. Yeah, we went all 4 days because we were thinking maybe we should sit down Thursday because it's something that was like jumping out on us, that we wanted to do. And then on Thursday we just like, screw it, let's just go. We went, and then we learned like a lot, even though it wasn't a lot. It wasn't like everything that we still needed to know. We still learned throughout the entire weekend, but like once we learned like about the cues and how everything worked, and
and like that we have to be
we
there
have
to
to-
do the badges.
do the badges. And all that. Yeah.
On another note though, we did get to see Jim Lee
Oh,
That was lit. I was
Dan
punching the
Didio.
air at work, bro.
Dan
That was
Didio.
and Dan Didio.
Shout out to both of y'all. Y'all are lit.
Writers and publishers for DC Comics. They showed us a whole new line of
it's gonna
DC
be-
Comics.
it's gonna be so
What's
sick.
in store for
and
the
also
future.
some other things that aren't exactly like superhero stuff, but the stories sounded pretty lit
Right.
too. I might actually look into those.
Yeah, so if you guys are interested, definitely look into DC's other stuff besides the superhero stuff.
Their Dark Label, is it Dark Label or Black Label?
It's one of the two. I think it's
Whatever.
Dark Label. But
One of those.
Yeah.
Those comics
And
are shooting
then
out soon. So
Friday,
catch
Ozymandias met us on Friday.
those.
It was really funny how I showed up though.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Yo,
the-
so we're
it's going back to what we're
yeah,
talking about.
So we're at it's 7 o'clock in the morning. We're waiting in this short ass line, thinking we hot shit. Turns
Yeah.
out we not shit.
Bro, because I
And-
pulled up.
Yeah,
He got there at
gets there-
8:30, and
yeah.
he's like, "Yo, where are you guys?" Like, I'm already in.
We're like, what?
We're like, in.
Because we're outside.
Yeah, we're still outside. We're not in. So here's the thing: you with the press and pros badge, they let you on the floor earlier, but like everyone that went through the other line
Gets on the queue hall.
Yeah, they had to get to the queue hall. But the queue hall is where you go and press your badge, like punch in your badge to reserve your seat for the panels. That's what we wanted to do. So we got in and we booked it. We booked
Yeah.
it to the queue hall, met up with
Thank-
Ozymandias
yeah.
in line, and
For the
luckily-
Watchmen,
yes. And that's what we did that day.
main
Before we
hall.
went to the Watchmen, though, we met this real cool dude named Tyrell.
Yes.
Yo,
shout out to him.
Terrell from Brooklyn. You're a cool dude, my guy. Hopefully
shout
we
out
get
to
to we get to chill or meet up at the next Comic Con or whatever. But shout out to Brooklyn, shout out to Terrell,
word.
man. You good people, man.
Definitely, he was real cool people. We talked for we killed
Yeah,
time.
we-
We killed 2
like
hours just talking
2.5
about
hours,
comics.
yeah,
We talked about NBA.
Yeah.
Like, we talked about everything. But real stand up dude. So really appreciative. He's been to a bunch of Comic Cons, so he kind of helped us a little bit as well.
Yes.
And so then after that, we went to the Watchmen panel. At the Watchmen panel, they showed us the very first episode
of
We saw a
Watchmen.
which
screening.
we're not going to spoil for any of you guys, so don't worry about that.
Right,
so
obviously
you know
not.
what that makes us?
You're not the only one cursed with knowledge.
We are cursed with knowledge. Y'all are not. That's a
And-
good one. I love
and
that one.
it is extremely unfortunate that we cannot discuss this because
Right.
the nice lady was like, "Yo, please don't share
Yeah,
this."
no
with
no
anyone."
reviews
Yes.
yet. Like, just wait till it drops so everyone sees it. So we're not gonna say anything. We're not gonna say much. We're just gonna say it
was
takes
dope.
place after the
30
movie.
Yeah, no. 30 years after the comic.
Which the movie was based on.
Yeah, but the thing about the movie is that the ending was different.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah,
so it's after the
comic.
comic.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
comic
yeah.
specific-
Yeah.
Oh, no, the graphic novel.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
the
the
graphic
showrunner, Lindelof, he said that it takes place 30 years after the comic,
Graphic novel.
the graphic novel. I'm sorry. Yeah, graphic novel. He made that very apparent.
Yes.
And we're gonna get a whole new slate of characters. The only character who's returning is Linda Blake. I think her name's Linda Blake, and Ozymandias. The only two played by
Yeah, he's gonna be in the show, guys. No.
played by none other than the flyest Alfred to ever grace
Yes,
the screen,
Jeremy
Jeremy
Irons.
Irons, my guy, who
Love
who
y'all.
actually showed up at the panel after the show aired.
The whole cast did.
The
It was
whole-
dope.
And
the
Regina
majority of the
King.
cast did, yep.
Regina King,
Shout out
bro.
Regina.
Yo, she couldn't come to the podcast. She was busy, but
Yeah, she was busy.
Nah, but the only thing I'm gonna say is that first episode was dope.
Yeah,
Super
it
dope.
was
that shit
really
gets you
good.
super
intrigued.
dope.
And it has a lot to do with today's society.
Yeah, we don't wanna-
in a very more obviously radical way, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, we're not
And
gonna get too
I
much
can't
into
even
it.
say radical because,
Well,
like, when y'all see this first
yeah,
episode,
you'll
you're gonna
know.
be like,
You'll
yo,
know exactly what the hell
this
we're
looks
talking
kind of familiar.
Yeah,
But
nah,
yeah,
it was awesome. The cast went. All the cast members were very very articulate. They were very nice up on stage, and
Dave
you know,
Given showed up too,
Yes.
the co-creator and,
Right.
and illustrator for the graphic novel,
That
and-
was super
which is
dope.
really dope to see him there and actually see, because like it's very rare, I think, in today's age where you see an OG kind of open up to something new and like, all right, you're taking my material that I created with somebody, run with it. Like,
Right.
like he actually like embraced Lindelof's take on it, on what to do next and all that. And they told their story on about how they want to carry the character arcs out and all that. And it's really refreshing to see a creator like who's older
yeah.
be like, you know what, these new guys know what they're doing.
He's
Like,
kind
yeah,
of just passing the torch. Like, hey,
Exactly.
like
Y'all got
do
this.
do what you got, and like
It was dope.
it shows that he has full trust in
Exactly.
Lindelof.
Yeah,
And on top
that's
of that, and it just, again, it sucks that Alan Moore was like, yo, don't involve me. Like, since Zack Snyder's Watchmen,
Right.
Yeah.
10 years ago that it came out, he was like, yo, I don't fucking care about it. Don't mention my name. I
Right.
don't want my name in the credits. I don't want royalties, nothing. Like,
But it's funny because in the actual panel they mentioned his name a couple times.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Out of respect,
Yeah,
they
out
kinda
of
had to,
respect,
yeah.
yeah. At least Dave. I know Dave mentioned his name a couple
Yeah.
times because that's his man's, but, you
But
know.
yeah, that's airing this month, so you guys better stay tuned. HBO.
Yep.
It's very rare for HBO not to kill it when they
Yeah,
come out.
it's
with
always-
something.
I feel like
it's
they haven't
always
really
a-
struck
it's
out with
always-
shows.
It's always
Yeah.
a hit, really.
And if you
honestly.
have an issue with how they do their shows,
Hug your
Hug your
mom.
mom.
exactly.
Yeah, we gotta get it.
Yeah, I know.
We got to get a soundboard. Yeah, it says hug your mom.
But
gotta find
and
some.
we met up with Boss Logic.
We
Shout
did.
out to Boss Logic.
Shout out to you.
The boy. Hopefully, we're gonna reach out to him. We're gonna email him so he could. Do our logo.
We're gonna do a little collab. We're trying to get a little collab started with.
Zoom bought a nice.
Yeah, it's in my car right
nice
now,
poster
but
in my car right now.
it's
Very
dope.
dope piece.
'Cause I've been staying at his house for like
Spider-Verse piece.
four fucking days.
Yeah, but
Oh, and he also played the Avengers game by Eidos.
yeah,
we
Eidos.
did play the new Avengers game.
It
yeah.
was
That's on
dope.
PS4 Pro. We played it there. There were like 12 of them, like all lined up.
Yeah.
And we got lucky. Like, we were online. The guy was like, there was one dude going again, Comic-Con.
Comic-Con, yeah.
Hey, what?
You guys can't come in. We're like, okay. There's another guy's like, you guys can get in. We're like, oh.
But this guy just told us
Most
that.
confusing.
And you know what's funny? They don't even acknowledge
each other's
like, each
directives.
other's. Like,
Yeah.
it was like, oh yeah, that guy just told us he can't get in. He's like, oh, yeah, you guys can definitely get in. Like, just we're like, okay. And then we walked in. Did you see this? The guy who told us that we couldn't get in was like,
Yeah, he was like, what the hell?
What
He's
the
like,
hell?
and
For
he
real?
looked at his
Yeah.
watch.
He's like,
Nah, but fuck that guy, because we played the game anyway.
and that shit was lit.
Yeah, it was really, obviously it was the beta version of the game, but it just felt good because every character
Felt different. Actually.
felt different. Like it wasn't like just the same buttons.
Yeah.
You just swap the moves.
Right.
Nah, it's Thor's hammer works different with the L and R triggers and stuff, and
Like
Black
Cap
Widow's
Shield.
character, Cap Shield, the Hulk, Iron Man,
Yep.
and it was like about 20 minutes of a demo that me and him finished at least.
Damn.
I
taking
finished
shots.
first. I finished
Shots
first.
fired. Damn, you cocked up,
I'm just
but you didn't pull the trigger.
hold on,
Uh oh.
hold that.
Oh, shots fired. Yeah,
I finished first, though.
I suck at video games.
Which is crazy, like, because you play FIFA and stuff, and you would think
That's what I
That's
said.
a completely different thing.
No, but
you
it's
play
still
FIFA,
hand-eye
'cause-
coordination.
Exactly, it's hand-eye coordination. You're managing, like, I feel like multiple situations. Oh, where's my defender? Where's the defender for the guy I'm about to
Exactly.
pass to?
Soccer is
All this
complex.
stuff.
But I legit have only played FIFA my entire life. I still
I
have
know,
yet. I
but it's
suck at the
like-
Spider-Man game. Why do you think I'm taking so long to fucking finish it?
Brother, this guy stinks!
Damn,
That might be my favorite
I kind
one.
of hate that the very first Oh Brother was on me, but it's alright.
No, we played it
We
earlier.
played it earlier
Nah, eat my
for
ass.
Brian.
Oh yeah, I did play it earlier for
Exactly.
Magneto. Yeah.
But yeah, we played the Avengers.
Thanks for the joke.
Nah, bro, we gotta get this soundboard out of here.
But yeah, so we did that. What else we did?
that
was
I
it,
think
right?
that, yeah.
We have a lot of Stephen A. sound bites. by the way.
So I'll
love you,
mention this
Stephen A.
after. So we'll just talk about what we did Saturday then.
Yeah, go ahead.
We
yeah.
did. We went to the
Oh.
Jack Ryan panel. So for those of you that do watch Jack Ryan, we
It's
also
on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
don't.
Watch the first season if you haven't. If you have, we got to see the first episode of season 2, and
Fire.
John Krasinski came out with a couple of 2 other cast members. John Krasinski is a very, very funny guy.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
He-
No, like
yeah, he's
even
a
like in
genuine-
person, like just,
genuine-
yeah, he just seems like a genuine,
Yeah,
genuine.
like all that
dude.
stuff was live, and they just went out, and he was making the whole crowd like laugh.
Yeah,
a
like
lot.
he just
was
felt
dope.
very comfortable being up there, very comfortable with the crowd. And
That guy's
first of all,
great.
the first episode was amazing.
Amazing.
So you should start it, by the way.
Yeah, dude.
I have Amazon Prime, so yeah.
So
I
go
don't
right ahead.
have a
Yeah,
reason.
no,
Prime,
it
Prime,
is-
check it
it's,
out.
Prime Video,
um,
dude. Check it out.
It's
dope.
very like real world and very just chaotic. It's like fuck.
And also, it's based on the characters with 2 first names, and we all know if you have 2 first names.
You fire.
You're legit.
Yeah, you're
Jack
legit.
Ryan. What's your name? Oh, it could be Ryan. It could be Jack. I
Exactly.
don't know. But it's based on. There's books you said, right?
I
The
think
Tom-
yeah, it's based on Tom
and-
Clancy
yeah,
books.
and,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
and then the games, obviously.
Yeah.
Right.
But so we did. That was all we did because then we saw Joker that day. But we'll get to that in a little bit because we'll talk about what me and Zoom did today.
Real quick, last day. Sorry, guys. We're taking
Yeah,
so long.
no, it's fine.
Comic Con is 4 days, y'all.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
4 days.
this
So
is a
we're-
recap.
We're running through 4 days of shit. So
Right, we
give
could
us a
go
break.
on for much longer.
Yeah.
But so today we went. Today, so
To Hulu
the
Theater.
whole con was being hosted at
The Javits Center.
Yes, but today the Warner Brothers panel. It was Warner Brothers Television. Let me make that
Yeah.
loud and clear.
Word.
So there was no. Oh,
No DCEU.
speaking of which, DCEU. Me and Zoom missed it because we were watching the Joker, but the Birds of Prey cast went to
Fam, I hate that. I hate that.
Surprises,
that shit
right?
So much, bro.
surprises.
Yeah, and then then we found out Ryan Reynolds also
Ryan
went on
Reynolds
Thursday.
also went surprising
Surprise,
on a Thursday.
But too bad,
On a Thursday.
too bad we had no fucking clue what the
Because
hell we were doing.
I think 21st Century
Well,
Fox
we
had a
were-
panel,
We were going to go for
and
that
he was
anyway.
in a new movie, and he surprised the audience. What a dick, Ryan Reynolds! You're a
Asshole.
dick.
Yeah, Ryan.
Just kidding. Come on the show.
But no, yeah. So the Birds of Prey went out onto the DC booth to do signings
Right.
and photo shoots, which was like, oh, so fuck us, right? I
Yeah.
would much rather take photos with Margot
With y'all.
Robbie.
Wait,
Then
Ewan
watch the
McGregor was
Joker.
there too?
Nah, it was mostly it was the girl that plays
Margot,
Black Canary.
Journey Bell.
Yes.
Is that her last? Is that her first name?
Yeah.
First name. And then the
The little girl, little Asian girl
I'm
that's playing Cassandra Cain. She's Asian. It's not racist.
not saying it's racist.
So
Did I
then
say
why are
that?
you laughing?
I was just like, it's just the little girl. The little girl.
I'm not
And
playing.
then,
I'm not playing.
it
the song.
looked like you were
Nah,
about
nah,
to.
I was
And,
just, I was looking up.
Rosie.
Rosie Perez.
Perez.
Rosie
Oh,
Perez
that-
is there.
Yeah, she was
oh,
there too.
Shit.
Yeah,
Shout
the
out
only
to
one,
Rosie
the only
Perez.
one that wasn't there was the girl that plays Huntress.
Yeah.
And Ewan
And Ewan
McGregor.
McGregor.
Hello there.
Yeah, but okay. So
Hello
then
there.
back to today,
We
the
should
Warner
get- we
Brothers
should definitely get that.
TV panel. Zoom and I also we got a lot of firsts. We got to see a lot of shit. We saw the
Yeah.
very first episode of the Harley Quinn animated series that's going to be on DC
Super
Universe.
dope. Hilarious.
Very very funny.
Punching the air.
Very funny.
That's me.
Hilarious.
I
It's
did
actually
not
really
expect it to
funny.
be like that. It's like a very parody kind of show, but
Yeah.
you're gonna love it
Yeah.
because like
it's like gory.
funny.
It's funny. Like it's like.
Oh,
they
it's
don't-
very rated
They
R.
don't.
You know what's
it's-
fucked up? That Harley Quinn gets to like rock out and get an animated series, but Deadpool shit got killed.
Yeah.
Yo, that was gonna be fire though.
Because
Donald
Donald
Gambino.
Glover was
fucking
writing
writing
it, and it was gonna be great.
It
Like,
was,
but FX
yeah.
was like, bleh.
All right.
So-
But no, yeah, people literally announced like, hey, if you're here with a kid, like we do recommend you go
Leave.
outside and yeah, they're like, sorry, you're gonna have to miss it, parents, but you shouldn't have brought your
Yeah,
little kid.
Literally.
Exactly.
But yeah, it was very entertaining.
I
I
probably
think a
should
lot
have
of
saved
people
that for
are gonna like
last in hindsight.
it. Yeah, maybe.
Because
That's annoying, right? You gotta
Yeah,
wait
this is
outside
later on.
It
if they wanted to
it
watch
was only
Bat,
like 20 minutes.
if it was like a little girl and wanted to watch,
Oh,
it was
so
not
they're,
20
oh,
minutes.
so they're gonna be like 20-minute episodes.
Right.
So
It was
they're-
like a 20-minute.
Was it 20 minutes? It felt longer. It felt like 30 minutes.
Or maybe
30,
30,
45
like half
minutes.
an hour. But
oh, that's not bad.
No, no.
So
I mean, it was
then-
good. I wanted it to be
then
longer.
we got a very first screening, which is airing tonight. On
Tonight.
Sunday, of Batwoman, but we saw it a couple hours earlier. For those of you that are
Slight flex.
against feminism, go hug your mom.
Word.
But this show, like from the first episode,
Should I read some comments?
it's not.
Should I read some comments on the last trailer we posted?
But
Go
no,
ahead.
like don't give it a chance. Like I don't want this. Like people just can't give shit a chance anymore.
So my girl was intrigued, and I'm like, oh, word, okay.
Like the first episode, so many Batman Easter eggs, obviously, obviously. But no, it really didn't touch on feminism. Like there was maybe one scene.
It wasn't forced. Like
It
I
wasn't
feel like
forced.
It
It
was
wasn't like they're not. Let me feed you this feminism. No, and regardless if it was, if the storyline is still good, like who gives a shit? You know.
I got a good.
You want to
comment.
read some of the comments? Go
So
ahead.
we got some good comments or not good comments, terrible comments, I should say.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Go ahead.
He's getting the soundboard ready.
Yeah, I'm getting this shit ready.
All right, so first one, I'm not going to say that user's name because you don't deserve a shout out because you're trash. He or she said, shit garbage, filth, feminism, liberal, lesbian. Hashtag not a damn, not Adam and Steve. Whatever that.
Oh my god.
Like instead of Adam and Eve, Adam and
Oh.
Steve.
Wow.
Oh god.
Corny.
Cute. Oh, this guy,
Corny.
this guy
You got a
actually,
fart
this
noise
guy
on?
actually had a good comment. He was like,
There you go. Thank
guy-
you. Garbage.
cue the white male hate.
Yeah, 100%.
For real.
So
No,
shout
but-
out, actually, I'll
but,
shout him out. 'cause
Yo,
he
shout
deserves
out
it.
to our white males listening.
Garen Helm 93.
That
Shout out to
are-
the allies.
that are, yeah, right. That are not
Dicks.
Dicks, yeah, assholes.
This wannabe feminist bullshit ain't it? But first of all, let me say this, just say this: they don't shove it down your throat.
Right.
It's just there, and you know it. And like there are a couple lines where, you know, like they say it, but I mean they're saying it because it's like they need to say it. Like you know, like the when it fits a woman, like that's a line that I don't feel like
They're
it's
ju- they're
so
get-
out of character,
they're-
so out
right.
of the out of normal for her
Right.
to say.
For a lesbian woman to say it.
Yeah, it will be when it fits a woman. That's when it will be perfect.
Right.
That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that line.
Also,
nothing wrong
like
with that
guys, it's all right. Like it doesn't matter.
Like,
Is it affecting your paycheck?
Not at all. You're probably making as much as we are. Nothing.
Damn, yo. Oh, got him. But no. Aside from that, like back onto it.
Yeah.
Very intriguing first episode.
It was actually, yeah, it was really good.
Was it the greatest thing in the world? No, but
It's a pilot.
I'm pretty sure you've seen a lot worse. And
100%.
this first episode was like you're like
I thought it was.
oh, shit.
I thought it has potential to be
very good.
to
And
probably-
especially
maybe be the best CW show out of all of them.
right.
Not that that's a hype.
Especially with Arrow ending
Leaving,
this
yeah.
season. Like there's a
This
lot
could be
that
the.
could go on.
I don't want to say the new Arrow, but it could be like a sub. Not a sub.
The darker DC show.
Passing
Yes,
the
yeah,
torch.
this could be
CW show.
the next dark DC show.
All right.
that
But
takes place, so we'll see.
that's all we did today. Then we got back. But yeah, if I highly recommend.
Yes.
People go to NYCC next year, 2020. Be prepared. You can bring snacks, so bring a bag full of snacks,
Yes,
a
we
ton
did
of
it.
water. If you can, buy like one of those little backpacks that also has a seat. We saw a lot of people that had
Oh my
that.
god!
Those
It
are
was the
dope.
most
shit.
revolutionary thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh,
I
the
saw that.
future is here, gentlemen.
I saw that. I was like, "Oh my god, that man is a freaking genius!"
Yeah.
Waiting in line, he just has his own chair. Everyone else is like
That could turn
peasants
into a
sitting on the
backpack.
floor.
And also wear shoes that like
are comfortable to walk in because
right.
you're walking a lot. I
And
had like
find-
14,000 steps each day we went.
Right.
Check your
and
Fitbit.
find go ahead of time and find panels that you actually want to go to and shit that you actually want to do, so you're not just walking around.
Exactly.
Because then
that's
you
the best
will,
way to get
you
bored.
will get bored.
That's the best way to
Exactly.
get bored. Yeah, if you don't have
But,
nothing to do.
And overwhelmed, I think.
Overwhelmed
Yeah.
for sure.
Shout
yeah,
out
'cause
to
you
all
don't
the
have to do
writers, all the artists that were there.
Yeah.
Your work doesn't go unnoticed. We're
Yeah.
glad you were
We love
there.
y'all.
A lot of people enjoyed it. We enjoyed your work.
it. Next
Yeah.
time we'll go out
So-
and talk to a lot of you guys.
Yeah, thank you NYCC. And now we can get into talking about
Yes.
the greatest movie of all time. That's a stretch. I'm sorry.
The greatest movie this year.
But before we do
facts.
that,
Do me a favor, please.
Yeah.
Go to commercial.
I hope y'all ready. I am.
all right. So welcome back. everyone. Yeah.
That was fucking loud.
All right, welcome back. So we're gonna just break down the Joker.
Oh God.
So y'all know what the deal is. We go around the table. We say what we liked about it. We say what we didn't like about it.
And our rating.
We give our rating, and the next person goes up, and then we embrace debate. Clown Prince,
Ooh, I saw
lead off hitter.
First, my dislikes, because I had less of those than I had of likes. Obviously. So, I think one of my dislikes was it kind of, and I wouldn't say it's a dislike, more of a, like, I think what the general audience thought, like a little bit, sort of a little slow at first, you know, you just like getting to know the character, kind of get into the build up, which was very much worth it.
I mean, that's what every movie is, isn't it?
Nah.
Slow,
I mean,
you get to know the character, and then...
Yo, let him rock.
Sorry.
isn't it like every movie? Fucking, come on, you don't got nothing there for interruptions? Like, hey man, like don't interrupt, brother. Oh, yeah, there you go. But not yet. No, I think at first, you know, you're kind of just watching, and you know, you're just trying to figure things out, like for yourself. But funny story, the movie we went to. So we went to see it at AMC Lincoln Square in the city.
This is not a commercial.
It is not, and this is not free promo for them. I mean, it is, but
it's kind of not.
But not. But so yeah, so you know, obviously you guys all heard what happened. Like not what happened, but what they've been a lot of people, like a lot of theaters been doing in terms of you know, higher security and having like undercover agents like sit in the
Fucking
theater
crazy,
with you,
bro.
like for the movie. Yeah, it's insane. But so this one guy, you know, he comes in and he's like in one of the first few rows, but he starts just like climbing up, like instead of just going in his row,
Like walking up
like
the stairs.
he starts like
Yeah,
walking
instead
on top of
doing
the
that, yeah,
seats.
yeah. Sorry.
And I'm just like, yo, what? So like me and like my girlfriend Kayla, we just kind of look at each other like, yo, I'm like, and I keep looking at him. She's like, yo, you good? I'm like, nah, this homeboy's kind of sketchy. So then like, there's no one else in his row, and he just starts like talking to himself and like pointing and like doing different things. And I'm like, yo, so I have I'm cross-eyed at this point because I have one eye on the movie and I have one eye on this homeboy. Because I'm like, yo, if something goes off, like I'm kicking him, like I'm drop kicking this shit. So I'm just waiting, right? And the scary part is like where we're sitting, there's mad rows behind us, so like anything could pop off. But we found out afterwards, after the film, that there was two security guards at every exit. Not security guards, I'm sorry,
Police,
NYPD officers,
policemen.
PD was there. Gotham City PD.
The boys in
the
blue.
GCPD,
The
yeah.
boys in blue.
But so why I bring that up is one, just because it's fucking crazy. Like, you know, and another guy, he showed Magneto like a video of like NYPD officers going up to people because these people were acting sketchy. Like, why the fuck are you going to a movie that you know is going to be known for, you know, having people be sketchy, and you go act sketchy? Like, what is your purpose?
Because people don't care.
Anything for clout, my
exactly.
guys.
They want to be clout.
So,
they
like,
want to
yeah,
record
the guy
themselves.
showed
They want
the
people
video
to be like,
to
"Oh my
Magneto.
god, you're hilarious."
And so I knew I wasn't bugging. Like, we knew we weren't bugging. Like, we knew people were acting sketchy. So
funny.
it intensified the movie for me. Like, it was like I was watching the movie and I was nervous about what's going on in the movie, and I'm nervous about my fucking life and the life of the people around me.
I'll tell my half of that story when I give my rating.
But thank God, you know, obviously nothing happened.
Yeah, thank God.
Shout out to the NYPD.
Word, hold us down, yo.
But so back to the movie itself. Shout out Joaquin Phoenix. What, I say it like a Brazilian. What's the problem?
Go ahead, bro.
I'm sorry. How do you say it? How do you say it, Ozymandias?
It's not my turn.
Joaquin?
It's not my
Okay,
turn.
sorry. Joaquin Phoenix. What a fucking performance. If you think RDJ deserves an Oscar for his performance in Endgame, and don't think
Hug your
Joaquin
mom.
deserves an Oscar for his performance in Joker, you are smoking crack. So
You know
Do you
exactly
have-
which
do you
one.
have that
You
on the
know
side?
exactly.
You're smoking crack. Stop.
Yes, he teed that up.
So, yeah, like, what a fucking performance. Like, the fact that he had to lose weight like the way he did
lost
for that
52
role,
pounds, by the way.
52.
bugging. bugging.
Crazy.
And like his like transition from laughing to serious is like what?
When he punched out. Was that when he punched out, or was that when he went to go see the
No,
his boss?
it's when they
he went to
told
go see
the-
his
the-
boss about the sign. He's like, ah, ha, ha, ha.
Well, no, it was right before he went to go do that. They were in the locker room.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was when he punched
Well,
out.
keep going.
Word, I know,
Yeah,
right?
We'll touch on that. We'll
I
touch
thought
on
it was when he
that.
punched out.
So
It was later.
It was like this.
nah.
That's funny though.
That was
But
hilarious.
so I think it was it made me uncomfortable. Like the movie made me uncomfortable, and that in a very good way. It was beautiful. It was disturbingly beautiful. Right? Who has said that?
Terrell.
Our guy
Shout
Terrell
out to
from
Terrell
NYCC. Disturbingly beautiful is the perfect way to put it. I was shook through the whole time because like there was moments like when he went up to do his comedy sketch and he couldn't stop laughing. And I'm just like, I felt so bad for the guy. You know, I started off the story feeling bad for him. And by the end of it, I saw him for like the psychopath that he was. But it doesn't tell this, like, you know, like you look at people, you're like, oh, this guy's a complete psycho. Like, I'm talking about real world,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
You
Right.
look at some guy, you're like, this guy's a complete psycho. You have no fucking clue what this guy's been through in his entire life. There was a breaking point for him. And we saw that in the Joker, especially when he was talking to
That
his
breaking point
to
hit
the,
him like
to
a
the
fucking
social
train,
worker.
yeah.
He's like, you
don't listen."
never
Yeah.
listen, do you?
Yeah.
And he goes on about this whole thing about he has negative thoughts, and she's just like,
We're cutting funding.
yeah,
See ya.
this is our last week, and it basically just proved this point. You know, like
People
people need someone to talk to. Like people need someone that's listening to them. They need comfort. You don't know what someone's going through.
Yeah.
And the
Therapy should
guy
never be
was
looked
just
down
getting
upon.
bullied. The guy was
Yeah.
just getting bullied for no fucking reason. And it was just nuts. Like I just and like the last 15 to 20 minutes of that movie, I'm just like there was barely any dialogue, if any. For the last I'm
For
talking here we go. I'm talking about like that whole scene of it was just music and like when it was just music and it was just chaos.
Yeah.
And a scene with no dialogue with just complete chaos made me feel fucking. I'm like, wow. And then when he took the blood from his mouth and
the
did the
end.
whole sign of the
Sorry,
joke, I'm
yeah.
like, this is amazing. And then the whole Martha and Thomas
Wayne,
getting
yeah.
killed and Bruce with their blood on his face. Like you had said, Ozymandias, the most brutal
Yeah.
death of the Waynes we've ever
Yeah,
seen.
like
110%.
Yeah, because Gotham was first on my list because you actually see them getting popped.
But you know, this is the reason why they were able to make it so gruesome is because all those other movies where we've seen his parents get killed, there's TV shows, the movies were rated PG-13.
Right. This was
Yeah.
rated R and
or,
it showed.
Yeah, or Gotham,
Yeah.
the show was on, Fox.
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
if that was on HBO or if the movies were all
Yeah.
rated R,
Yeah.
we
It
probably
been-
would have seen something like
Right.
that. But that's what makes it that much more
But if
like impactful, I think,
Yeah.
for us.
like for me, I think Todd Phillips was like when he started this whole thing. Obviously, don't quote me on this because this is not true. It's just what I think. What Todd Phillips went through his mind when he was making this. He's like, hey, we're not gonna make a comic book movie. We're gonna make a movie about a comic book character, but this is gonna be a movie about
Yeah.
mental illness. It's gonna be a movie about having one bad day. And Joker even said in the movie when he was in Wifey's home, well,
In Domino's home?
his imaginary
In
wifey
Domino's home?
in Domino's
Yeah,
home from
Domino's.
Deadpool.
She didn't have good luck in that movie, I'll tell you that much.
Definitely not. Oh, that's funny.
Thank you.
Um,
Don't be so surprised.
But here we go. Do it.
What is it now?
Oh,
What am I
come
gonna
on,
get?
find it. You got to be quicker with this shit.
Yeah,
Alright,
I'm still getting used
fuck
to it.
the
Whatever,
soundboard.
whatever.
But no, he said it at her place. He was like, "I'm having a bad day."
Yeah,
You
he
know?
said that. Yeah.
So it's like, and there were certain scenes like ones like those of Bruce's parents getting murdered, and the talk show where he was with De Niro. Like all those are like from a comic book page, So Todd Phillips still kept the elements of the comics, but that wasn't what he used to tell his story.
110%.
He's like, I'm gonna add this for the comic book viewers because they're gonna hint at it. They're gonna be like, "Oh,
"No, that's
nice,
cool. Yeah, that's dope." Yeah.
And then but his story to me was about mental illness and how real world situation, people need help. Like this is not a joke, and especially in the 1980s. Like none of us lived in the 80s, but I can imagine like people were a lot more like ruthless back then. Like oh, you're a fucking psycho. Like
Nah,
even
it
his
was,
boss told him like,
yeah,
you're like people here think you're a maniac. People think you're crazy.
I agree with that. I
Like
think
nowadays, you say some shit like that, and like you're like shit could pop off right there. Like,
Exactly.
Dude could fucking like,
Shit like
you know,
what?
like you can't say certain shit like that anymore nowadays to someone. Like, oh, you're a fucking psychopath, because A, that person come up to you the next day, fucking shoot you, or B, like, you know, just there's a lot. The society's different nowadays. Like back then,
Yeah.
like people didn't give a fuck.
They didn't know anything a lot about mental illness
Right.
in 1981.
But,
1981, right? That's
Especially in fictional Gotham, which still mirrors us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, the movie, like, I haven't felt this way about like a movie hasn't left me the way I left that movie in a very long time. I was very tense. I could also be biased because Joker's my favorite villain, and even when we were learning a story about him, it was a false story. His name's not Arthur Fleck. His name, like, we don't know his parents. We don't know his origin. This shit was all bullshit, you know? And like that's what makes the character so fucking unique. You don't know shit about him.
Yeah, he has what Todd Phillips described as a untrustworthy narrative.
Right.
Yeah.
And I want to make a point about that, but we'll talk about it after when we all talk about it. Yeah. So I'll rate it. I'm not gonna give it a perfect 10 out of 10, but I will give it a 9. Because that left me. I want to watch it one more time. So.
That was the
Huh?
ding.
Oh.
Yeah,
Ding.
All right.
And Zoom, all the way from Atlantic City.
Hello.
Esteemed guest. Also, our very own DC correspondent.
I'm not a DC correspondent.
Yes, you are. You're DC correspondent.
I'm not.
There you are.
Anyway. Go hug Feige.
Go hug Kevin Feige.
You missed it.
No, I wasn't going to press it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I love this movie. I thought it was awesome. Again, like, it just I left the movie really thinking about, like, man, we should really try to be, like, nicer to people. Like, even if it, or maybe not even nice. Like, actually, yeah, well, nice, but like, just don't be a dick. Like, don't be doing dick shit for no reason at all. Like, like, you see somebody holding a sign outside at a store. Maybe don't knock the sign out of his hand and go beat the shit out of that guy. Not that happens all the time, but it happens. This is real life.
It does happen.
It happens.
Yeah, it
like
does happen.
people
Like,
get,
people are like, oh, this
people
shit would
get-
happen. Yes, you just never seen
Yeah,
it. But
you
that
just
shit
never
does
seen
happen.
it.
There are
Exactly.
people that are literally dicks.
Yeah, there's people that are dicks for no reason. Like just you have no idea what someone's going through, and I think that it really touched on a lot of like Clown Prince said, a lot of mental illness stuff, and I think that's great. I think it's phenomenal. I think also that therapy shouldn't be anything that people are looking down upon. If someone shouldn't be ashamed to say, I'm going to therapy right now. I'm going to see my therapist. I think that's great. But and like a lot of the stuff in that movie, like the social worker, I thought it was great how I think you touched on it. Like saying basically like, you're not listening to me. You ask me the same questions every single time. Yeah. It's just like
he knows it's not genuine. He knows
exactly.
She has a
when
job.
you ask the same questions every single time and you get the same responses every single time, it's just like it feels like it's not genuine. And I can't blame anyone who's ever gone to therapy with a therapist has done that. Like
it feels like they're not getting the help
exactly.
they need,
They're not feeling getting the help they need, and it's like, why am I wasting my time? And then they start It was just phenomenal all around, I think. And I do think this is the best comic book movie of 2019, fully knowing that movie came out.
Endgame. For those who are just listening.
For those who are just listening.
I'm watching
an
Endgame shirt.
Yeah.
I think it did beat out Endgame. But, I mean, not that it's a competition, really, but I just think it was phenomenal.
Yeah, two completely different movies.
Yeah, two completely different movies. Obviously, yes, I understand that. But, like, if I had to pick one to watch, I'd pick Joker. And I'll say my favorite part was probably the talk show.
Yeah,
the talk show was really good.
Murray.
Yeah, Murray. That talk show was really
Robert
good.
De Niro got clapped.
Super class.
Spoiler alert. We warned you at the beginning.
Yeah.
We did. If you didn't hear the sirens, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we did talk about Comic-Con for like 25 minutes. And we forgot.
They completely forgot.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
we did mention we're going.
yeah.
To
So what would you rate it? In closing.
In closing, I'm gonna rate it. I mean, I don't want to say 10.
Let's say it. Just say it. You know you want to.
I'm gonna give it a 10. That shit was fire. Perfect. And on to.
What the fuck are you doing?
You can't keep hitting it, or else it's not gonna.
You
broke
just
it.
broke our soundboard.
You broke our
I
soundboard.
did. I broke it just now.
Oh,
Oh
my
my
god.
God.
Now it's just gonna keep going. We're sorry. for
Wait, so
our-
you're giving it a perfect 10? You're hearing it first.
Yes, I am.
All right. So a perfect 10 for
On
me.
to Ozymandias.
All right. So I'm gonna I guess repeat myself from my review that I posted on Instagram,
Mhm.
but I'll probably paraphrase myself. Y'all know I don't watch trailers. Like that's like my thing.
Really?
Yeah.
We didn't know that.
Oh.
In case y'all niggas didn't know, I don't watch trailers.
Funk Master Flex Night. Funk Master Flex Night.
So the only footage I've seen of this movie was a behind the scene shot that we watched here over a year ago.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you remember when we first saw the train scene when he was walking out?
Wow.
Yeah. So what I got from that, and all I was really expecting was, okay, this is going to be dark, it's going to be different, it's going to be a period piece, and we're getting a fresh take on something that we're familiar with, which I welcome very dearly. I welcome that a lot because there's a lot of times where some people get casted as a certain character, and you're just like, oh god, like,
Oh my god, this guy sucks.
like, oh man, like
I haven't
I'm
seen a minute of how he's gonna portray the role, but I hate it.
exactly. So knowing how toxic the comic book community is, I'm like, all right,
Yeah, how
Peop-
toxic it can be. Yeah.
exactly. So I went in thinking like, all right, people are either gonna hate it a lot or
Yeah.
love it a
It was
lot.
gonna be hit or miss.
And
like all
from
DC movies.
and from the Venice Film Festival, we got that everybody was raving about it,
Yeah.
and I thought, and now here's the thing. Overall, I think the movie's amazing. It's mesmerizing. It's
enticing.
It's a conversation starter.
Ooh.
That will be that. This is like a topic of conversation that's relevant and that
I think it's
is
gonna
grounded
continue.
in-
It's gonna
yeah,
continue
and
for a
that's
long
and that's
time.
grounded in today. So, the issue I had first was, I guess, the reviews. I think it was blown up. I think it was sensationalized.
What do you mean?
Hear me out. Like, for example,
Like
it was
overhyped?
oh, this is gonna break the world. It's gonna break the. It's just like, fam, this isn't something we've never seen before. This film was based on Taxi Driver and The King of Comedy, both by Martin Scorsese. Both films that dealt with a character who had a bad day.
right?
Right.
But it's doing it on a more. I would say people are saying that because it's based on a comic book character. Like
Yeah,
we've
but-
never seen a comic book character in this much depth, like ever.
No,
and
yeah,
then
I
another-
understand that, but
another thing-
I'm just saying, like, it's.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm saying picturing this for the general audience. Again, we're cursed with knowledge. We don't. We
Right,
we
right.
know what
Okay.
we're getting into, but I'm saying, like, for somebody who's
But
never.
everyone knows the Joker, though. They know where this is gonna go.
I know, but my stance on it is like somebody who's not into it, never seen anything, and is just like, oh, this is the most amazing thing ever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those things where it's niche.
I think
still
because
think it's niche.
I think because we are cursed with knowledge, we know that it's not the most groundbreaking thing
Yeah,
ever.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Because like, you know, someone that like my little sister, you know, she doesn't know much about comics. Like she's been coming to watch the movies with us and she loved it. Like she was like, yo, like it made her feel like scared. Like it's just like
yeah.
damn, like this shit was fucking like it was painful to watch in the best way. You know?
That's a very interesting way to put it because I felt the same exact way. Like watching it.
Like seeing how someone unfolds the way
Exactly.
You,
like
you,
the way
you,
he
you
did.
saw someone's downfall. Not that
Right.
he was started at such a high place, but it
You
was
know
just
what's
like
crazy?
you saw,
That I see it a completely different way.
Really? How do you see it?
Well, let me finish with my
That's all right.
overall.
Yeah,
okay,
wait,
before we
keep
do a deep
interrupting
dive.
you. Keep
So
interrupting
I went into it like obviously I was a fan of the casting, Joaquin
Right.
Phoenix,
you. Amazing.
Shout out Puerto Rico.
yeah, Boricua, and out here like representing and like
Yes, sir.
kind of showing up. Like it wasn't no bitch shit. Like when he started performing, he wasn't like a caricature of the Joker. It was like, yo,
No, this is
if
he owned it.
this dude existed in real life, this is kind of like how he would be. And also, this is a character study film, I feel. Like, this is,
Yeah.
You could show this in class and stuff like,
Oh,
yo,
110%.
let's dissect this one scene. Let's dissect him just putting makeup on within the first 5 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like
That's crazy how that was the beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
And, you know,
and,
it's just
and he's like crying a little bit too. So it's
Yeah.
like it was a lot. It was a very this is DC's deepest film.
We were talking,
like BVS is heavy and dense, but this brings it to a whole nother level because it touches on
the way we think BVS has topics that are relatable. This is just smacks you in the face with how much, which is what makes people so uncomfortable.
Exactly, and it's relentless too.
Exactly, it's relentless because you're just like, damn, like this is so freaking relevant right now.
Yeah.
Like it's like, sorry,
No, it's fine because these are like what I like about this film overall is that we are talking about it. Like it's a conversation starter, and it goes past it being a comic book related film.
Exactly.
Right.
It
like,
doesn't
this is
even feel like a
bigger
superhero
than
film.
the Joker.
I saw
This
a
is
comment,
bigger than that.
I saw a comment where it's like someone was like, "Yeah, I don't even think this was a superhero film.
It's not.
It's not a comic book
It's
film.
not.
There
Obviously wasn't a
superhero,
villain.
but it's not a comic film. It's just a film.
Yeah.
It's like, and I think this is. I hope, pray to the Lord that this is gonna like kind of expand the comic book industry, and we'll see some more people taking a lot of risks,
Right.
and maybe saying not so much as like giving villains solos, because I think Joker is the only one really that you can pull this off with.
Yeah.
Right now, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not saying a pro, but
all right, in a kind
he's the most complex villain of all time.
exactly in terms of
So-
complex villains.
Exactly.
Yeah,
He's
because
the most complex of all time. You have no idea.
Yeah.
You could do anything with this
Right.
dude.
Yeah.
Like-
So
that's why you
Warner Brothers, we're not trying to see how Mr. Freeze came to be. Like I don't want to know why Calendar Man is how he is. I don't know. I don't care that the what's that guy's name? Like I don't care to see like how Catwoman came to be.
Whoa.
Come on.
Whoa.
Selena Kyle needs a whole film.
No.
Hold that.
But let's just put some respect on her name, all right?
Fine, but like I don't care
She can
why
get a solo.
I don't care why Oswald Cobblepot
Okay,
wears a limp and stuff.
I agree. Is this one it, or is this one it? This one.
Perfect.
Oh no.
That's still fine. But yeah, like
That's the one I
DC,
meant.
just don't get carried away. Just continue to give creatives the freedom they deserve to express the film that they want to make.
That's what I wanted to say. I'm glad Warner Brothers didn't step foot in this. I'm glad they let Todd
You know
Phillips
what's
do what he
crazy?
wanted to do.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah, we're going to touch on that. I know exactly where you're going
Fit
with
it-
this. But yeah,
do
let me
your
finish
rating.
with this.
Yeah,
I know exactly where you're going with
let's
that.
break it down.
Okay.
I know exactly where you're going with that. But
Funk Master Flex Night.
I hope you know I'm going with this.
I hope so too. But yeah, I give the film overall
What's your rating?
Perfect.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 from Ozymandias.
We agree.
Wow.
You see this the first time here,
Perfect.
a 10 out of 10. I feel
Nah,
that
you gave Endgame a 10 out of 10.
I gave Endgame a 10, which shows that I am balanced.
Which one's
That's all
better?
things should be. Which one's better? Step outside and we'll find out.
we are outside.
Yeah, very true.
Oh, it's been a while. Yo, shout out my guy Charlie
Oh, for what?
for nothing.
You don't have to shout him out, brother. This guy stinks.
We just needed to add that in there
Oh
because we
my
always
goodness.
shout him out.
But yeah, guys, I really fucked with it. Like,
It was dope.
just don't take your mom to see this. Hug her after.
No, take your mom, take your dad. Don't take your kids.
Yeah.
They're gonna look at you and be like, "Is this something you want to tell us?" It's like,
Word.
no, I just
I'm just
I
trying to
Yo,
tell you
I
that you're
seen-
adopted, and then I have hallucinations.
Before we get into the deep dives, I seen a
crazy.
meme. I think I showed you guys. I don't know if I
What?
sent it in the chat, but it was like me enjoying Joker a little bit too much. And then it's in Spider-Man 2 when Peter's watching Mary
Oh,
Jane
and James
Harry's-
Franco, James Franco's just watching him.
and it's an
and it's
undercover
like,
cop
yeah.
peeping. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll see
that
you.
shit was funny.
I'm gonna stop you right like, at the bathroom or something, you bum ass. But
Word.
but hold on.
Oh, I didn't get my second half of the story for the movie theater.
Yeah,
All right.
So we were in the movie theater. Me and Magneto are in the movie theater. We're sitting next to each other, and next to my left is Clown Prince, Kayla, and Clown Prince's sister. So me and Magneto are just having a blast watching a movie, and I look to my left and I see Clown Prince and everyone just like, kind of like super like I don't know. It didn't
We
seem
were
like
very on edge.
yeah, on edge, and I was like, man, I guess they really into the movie. I guess whatever. And then
Like, my girl looks at me and she's like, I'm scared right now
Word.
because she thought I saw something was gonna pop off.
so then we see.
I had her though. I had her.
All right.
Everyone was protected.
That's how you should do it, King.
So
That's how you
so,
should do it. Protect what's yours, yo.
Exactly.
So women don't belong to anybody. So
Funk Master Flex night.
so the row in front of us, they got up. And then they moved and left. Some
didn't
left.
move.
Some
They
moved.
left.
No, some left. But there was some other people that moved, and they kept looking back down. I was like, "What the fuck
It
is
was
going on?"
because the homeboy I had previously
And-
talked about.
Right, and then that's when I started being like, "All right, let me start looking around here. What the hell's going on?" So then I'm like, I look,
Man's would have been the first one clapped.
First to go, right here.
because I'm sorry, I'm focusing on the fucking movie.
Nah, bro.
First to go.
All right, anyway, sorry. So I'm like looking. I looked to my left and I go.
Sorry,
I
I'm
said a
enjoying
couple
myself.
words. I'm like, "Yo, are you alright?" He's like, "No, man." He was like, "Yeah, I'm good. First
No.
of all, what kind of person is that? He's like, "Yeah, we're good. Everything's fine." I asked him what's up.
Yo, he asked me. I didn't even look at him.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
staring
yeah,
at
no,
homeboy. I was like,
yeah,
yeah,
he's
I'm
like,
good.
yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right. So then I start getting nervous now because
Yeah.
everybody's so tense around me.
Bro, the whole theater was tense.
The whole theater was tense
theater-
except for
you
me and
felt it.
Magneto.
You felt it because everyone came out and everybody was like, yo,
Yeah.
I thought something was going to happen.
Yeah, like except for
That's,
me.
isn't that crazy? A
Magneto-
whole fucking theater besides
And
these
this
two bum asses thought something was about to pop off. They were just, ooh, shots fired.
That's really foul because I
No,
asked you what's up.
I'm
When I
trying
asked
to
you-
save your
what-
life. I know this shit
So
don't
why'd
happen.
you tell me?
I know this shit don't happen in Seaside, New Jersey, but it happens.
Well, how come you don't tell me?
Huh?
How come you don't say nothing?
Nah, I was gonna protect you anyway, bro. Don't worry about
You
it.
don't say nothing.
Nah, I did. I was trying to keep you safe.
Yo, man, what's
'Cause
up?
if you knew, you would have panicked. You would have panicked.
When have I ever
Nah,
panicked?
you would have panicked, bro.
So-
You and Magneto would have
So was there a point that
Anyway.
what's
Sorry.
going on?
It was just funny that everybody else noticed it except for me, Magneto. That's all I wanted to say.
So let's break this shit down.
It's also unfortunate that
It is unfortunate
It's
that even
2019.
had to
Exactly.
It even had to be like
and we're here like,
a
yo, a
thing.
Joker movie's coming out. Be careful, y'all.
Yeah.
be
That's-
careful.
That's
Like,
fucking nasty.
it's
man.
crazy how it's.
But yeah,
I'm not here to talk about that.
something that I wanted to highlight and touch on. Like again, we're gonna jump all over the place, whether it's the beginning, middle, or end. It doesn't matter.
Oh, no, we're not going to
Yeah,
break it
we're-
down scene by scene.
yeah.
We're just gonna whatever we notice that
Yeah.
could be useful in this conversation. We're gonna use.
Yeah. So something that I really fucked with was the hints at how. Like, it's crazy how they were like sort of Easter eggs, but it was also like, yo, hey, it's kind of like screaming and waving, but you can't hear yourself. You can't hear the message. Like, it's
Right.
like you can't hear what they're saying and stuff. But the scene where he's leaving the locker room
Right.
when he gets fired and it
He
says
punches
don't,
out.
and he's like, don't forget to punch
I
out.
forgot to punch out.
When he leaves and it says, don't forget to smile, and he crosses out forget.
Yeah.
It just
No,
says,
or
don't
no.
smile.
No.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Don't-
does. Yeah,
Don't smile.
And then another part where he's writing his jokes, and he starts like getting in the groove and stuff, and he's just like he starts writing, and then what he ends up writing is something that was extremely profound for kind of a mundane kind of scene.
Oh,
He wrote, I'm getting goosebumps
Yes,
just repeating this.
I
He
know.
says, the worst part about mental illness is that people expect you to behave like you don't.
Right.
and that's crazy.
Like, that's
drop a bomb on
What was the
that.
other thing he said? I
That
hope my death.
I hope
Funk
my
Master Flex night.
I hope he says I hope
hope-
my death makes more sense than my life. That part right there was like screaming. It was like, yo, like
Yeah.
this guy needs help. This guy needs help.
Yeah, but
So
who cares, right?
when we left the theater, Zoom, and Magneto talked about this, and Magneto brought up a good point, which I kind of like. Now thinking about it, like I'm like, yo, like that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sense, CENTS. Funk Master Flex night. It's just impossible for me not to do it. But
Cannot be more New York than that.
all of that could have been the joke he had at the end. You remember when he was talking to the shrink basically, or like, you know, And he was laughing, right? And she was like, "What's so funny?" He's like, "I had a joke.
It.
You wouldn't get it. Like, what if it was that whole thing?" And you know why? Because Magneto made a point where they had the giant rats, like the super rats.
Yeah.
And it's like that doesn't exist. Like if you saw them, they were all throughout the movie.
Yeah, I saw them.
And like they were fucking, like, I don't think a rat could get to that size.
That's real. That's not a fake cricket.
That was pretty. Damn, my story sucks that bad. Shit, that cricket was like, yo, man, yo, stop talking about this shit. But like, so he had made the point, like, hey, that could have all been the joke. Like, none of that shit ever happened. Like, he was just in the shrink the whole time. And I thought that was a great point. And you know what? Another thing, why I think so too.
Why?
Because since this was all in his head, I don't know if you guys saw, but when it showed up, like when Martha and Thomas Wayne were leaving, you know how obviously the infamous show that they went to go see was
Excalibur.
No.
What was it?
The Zorro.
They went to see Zorro. Okay.
The way it was spelled and the way it was said was different. It was like, Zorro, like Zorro something gay.
Okay.
And that I found that very weird. I was like, so in my head, I'm thinking because he's the one making out this story, and I think all the other things were wrong too. All the other movies were spelled wrong. So and he clearly doesn't know how he's illiterate. So I'm thinking, like we were thinking, because he made up this whole story.
And you saw that they were misspelled?
I believe so. I have to watch it again, but definitely the Zorro one. It was like, it was not the name of the movie. It was a completely different movie. Yes. So that's what I'm gonna have to watch it again. And
That's an I didn't look at it like that.
It is an interesting take. I mean, but the thing I love about this movie is that you can take it in so many different ways.
You can.
Yeah, I mean,
100%.
and Todd Phillips even said it. He was like,
Yeah.
"Yo, this is
And-
up for interpretation.
and-
However you want to take it."
And I think that's the best way to do it because I think it'd be best if people just take what they need to take from it.
Yeah.
You know, like,
That, like,
thank
Funk
you.
Master
We don't
Flex
need to say it
Night.
every single time.
I'm gonna say it every single time.
But
I'm gonna fight you. Three of us got up.
So was it like a 2-on-1?
Yeah.
so no, I think for the first time we're teaming up.
Yeah, I know.
But
That's lit.
like
I'm joking.
people just needed to like really like for me, like I took, I want to be nicer to people and not that I'm a dick, but it's just like,
So
I
yeah,
just,
Zoom is a complete asshole in person.
one of those kids that took the sign and beat him up. That was me.
No, it's more like okay, funny guy. Continue.
But that was like not the only thing I took, obviously, but that was like one of the big things. If you don't see someone on the street and you obviously there might be acting strange, you don't want to be an asshole to that person because again they could have mental problems, they could be going through so much stuff that you don't have no clue. And even the little thing, like the littlest thing of just trying to be respectful, it can go a long way, I think. So but I think that was a great thing of the movie. And Joaquin even said, he was like, he said, when I have all the answers I get bored.
Yeah.
So like, you don't want to have all the answers.
That's something that I really appreciate.
I appreciate that too.
That's what's gonna keep people talking about this movie.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Like,
and that's why
we'll talk to somebody
another reason why
tomorrow who have
BVS
a
is talked
completely
about.
different point of view.
Not to think about BVS all the time and
So
Zack Snyder,
guys,
the
back to
GOAT.
BVS, the most important thing of all time.
But another thing that makes that so talked about is because Zack Snyder doesn't answer any questions really.
Right.
Like he answers some questions and he'll reveal some stuff on Vero and stuff. But when it first came out, dude, he wasn't
Zach
really
was just
answering
like,
that many questions.
okay.
Yeah, okay.
If you want it to be
if you
that,
want it to be that way.
it could be that.
Yeah, interpret it how you want to interpret it.
Well,
That's the great thing about this movie, I think.
And on top of that, you have the deep layers that it takes
100%.
because you see how you interpret it as somebody's fall.
I want to
see
say
it
that
as somebody's rise.
I see
You
it as a
the
rise.
of
You know
Joker.
why? Because something that I noticed at least. Because
would define rise though.
all right, so it's safe to say that Arthur, because he's only referred to as Joker as the last 15 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, he's like, when you introduce me.
Can you bring me out as Joker?
Yeah.
Actually, the way he
When-
said it, bro.
when you
was
bring-
really creepy.
When
It's
you
kinda
bring
like-
me out,
Yeah.
can you introduce me as Joker?
So he was like, so something that I noticed about Arthur in the first half of the film, where he's like in the slump that's his life, you know, he's like, yo, he thinks he doesn't exist. He feels like nobody notices him. And every time he goes up those set of stairs, that's in the BX.
I know exactly
by the way,
what you're talking about.
You see him. It's like a sulky kind of mood that he's in and stuff. And then when
He was going down the stairs.
exactly like it's
was
it's
happy.
exactly so like it's like it's reversed. So I feel like the climax of the film was when he killed those Wayne Industries workers.
I don't even think that's the climax.
No,
yet.
I think all right, okay, but I think that's that's the tipping point of the hill
right.
for the snowball effect to start rolling down, like for the snowball to start
Yeah,
rolling
yeah.
down.
That was the moment
or
where
in your case
it started. The
going up,
uprise.
the uprise.
Yeah, exactly. But also, everybody needs a little push. So that little push for him was, he has uncontrollable laughter on the train.
Right.
He basically inadvertently stopped a woman from getting sexually harassed
Which is, you know,
by just laughing.
by laughing.
By
And
just
by
laughing.
making
And it's-
everybody uncomfortable, including her.
Exactly. So,
So
she
she
was like,
just
what the
left.
fuck? So she left.
She took
And
a
then these
moment
guys
to
just
laugh.
started being dicks. They're like, yo, what the fuck is so funny? So then when he goes and pops these guys,
Oh, in self-defense.
I was like, oh shit, I forgot he had the gun, first of all.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, so he popped these guys, and then he runs out the station. And then that moment in the bathroom where he just starts.
Dancing, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm
He felt
getting
loose.
goosebumps.
He felt loose.
Exactly. I'm getting goosebumps because it feels like right there that
And-
at
and-
that moment, that character was like, I
This
know what
is-
I am.
And back
This
to your
is- this
point
is-
where he
this is
told
nice.
where he told his
Yeah.
mom, where he's like, all my life I thought
My life was a tragedy, and
when
it's
it was
really
a
a comedy. And starts
And then-
making her
who
smell
did he
the
say-
pillow.
Who did he say? Who did he say? Like, oh, all my life I felt like I didn't exist, and now people are starting to notice me.
to Murr, to Bill Murr. Was that his name?
Was that
Bill
was
Murr?
that a Murray? Was it Murray or was it this therapist?
No,
Put that
I think
in
it was.
quotes.
I think it was his therapist. This was after
Right-
he
oh,
killed.
yeah, right
This
after
is
he
the.
killed the
It was the
three,
same
right.
scene where he was like,
where he
"You're
told her
never
off.
listening."
Yeah, he told her
But
off.
speaking of which, I want to the actual interview itself with Robert De Niro's character. The fucking acting in that, like
Phenomenal.
where he was explaining.
Superb.
Yeah.
Superb.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Superb.
Yeah.
Superb.
Superb.
Superb. Yes. I kind of figured.
All right.
Dude, like,
Yeah.
he just literally explained the whole story we just watched
Exactly.
in like 10 seconds to him,
Yeah.
and in the most aggressive way, and
Popped his
And
shit.
fucking
shit.
popped him. He was like,
he said, "How about you be a fucking maniac? Like, people look at you the wrong way. Like this. No, you've never experienced that shit." Bink.
"No."
And I
He
was
says,
like,
"I
yo."
like." My girl was like recording this whole thing. Allegedly.
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 This is not a confession.
Yo, you were up. You getting your girl caught out.
Word.
Wrong master flex night.
Nah, but the thing,
Snitch.
what I noticed was that
Snitching.
he started like when he got on stage and stuff, and like his demeanor kind of changed. And
When he got in
shifted.
the elevator, he was like
Yeah.
the smirk. I was like,
Yo, one of my favorite scenes, and the
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. Like, what was your favorite like moment?
probably
in
that
the
one
moment.
because like you know how you said, oh, that was the climax. I think the elevator scene was the climax
Where he was like,
fully
I-
embraced who he was.
you got it.
And there was
Yeah.
something he said. I'm trying to remember. There was something he said where he was like, oh, remember when the cop had asked him? He's like, is this part of your? Is the laugh, uncontrollable laugh, a part of your act? And he was like, oh, what do you
What the
fucking
fuck?
think?
What do you
Yeah.
fucking think?
And but then he even says it to someone. I forgot who it was, but he goes, maybe it wasn't a condition the whole time. Like maybe that's who I am.
His mom.
Yeah,
Was it his mom?
I think
his
it
mom.
was his mom.
Because
yeah.
he's
Like,
talking about, he's
I
like,
thought-
I've
I
been
thought
taking these pills and this medicine and stuff, and it's been, you know, and I've been trying, like, basically he's been saying he's been rejecting who he's been his entire life.
That's why I call it a rise, because when
He's embracing himself.
because he embraces himself, he feels sheltered. He feels like, again, he has to behave. He has to be a certain
But then
way.
even that has layers though, because
Exactly.
you can say
Onions.
a lot of people who, you know, go through
trauma or mental health.
right
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
mental health stuff, and they kind of go on that similar path that he went on. Not
Yeah.
I mean, obviously not that similar, but
Yeah, yeah.
similar enough
Hope
where you
not.
maybe you do illegal things. You know, is that then a rise or is that a downfall?
No. I'm all right.
I'm clarifying. I'm being.
I know what you
know,
mean. But you're asking the right questions. I'm just saying in terms of his character, in terms of the Joker himself,
Right.
because again,
he
because
would
we
also see it
knew,
as an
because we
uprising.
knew, we know what he is
Exactly, we
or,
know.
or what he is going to become.
or what he represents.
What he represents is chaos
Thank
and all
you.
that shit.
I wanted to talk about that. You know what? That scene reminded me of where it was the subway scene where the cops were chasing him and he
Great.
took the guy's mask and he started wearing the mask and he took it off, and then also where they brought him on top of the cop car, they picked him up and he was dancing. Amazing cinematography, by the way. That scene was
This whole film
insane.
was
What-
a
what
blue
I,
filter.
what I wanted to
of
talk about
grit.
was it. You know what it low key reminded me of? That scene in Spider-Verse, where it's like anyone can be Spider-Man.
Anyone can
And-
be Joker.
Exactly. Anyone can be this. Joker wasn't a person. He's a figure.
symbol.
He's a symbol. You know what I mean?
He's literally Batman's opposite.
Exactly.
But the thing that I have to disagree on the whole Spider-Man thing is that anybody who move the fuck out the way.
Is someone,
Wow, that's fucking awesome. You can hear fucking everything.
dude, that's like blocks away.
That might be on the highway, dude.
Nah, but what was I trying to say? Oh,
Sorry.
That horn just fucking.
all right. So what I was trying to say is that like Miles could become Spider-Man because of, I guess, of his will and stuff.
He was
Yeah.
inspired. By
I
it.
still think that you have to be radicalized to a point to take up that mantle of the Joker.
Yeah,
Like,
you,
you
know,
need- You need a push. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to like
Oh, okay.
feel a
understandable,
certain
but
way.
I'm saying I was thinking more along the lines of the
leap of
symbolism.
faith?
Yeah,
The
but-
symbolism in terms of like all these other people like thought like what he did was he was doing good. You know, like he killed those 3 people and people were
That's a
praising
good
him
point
for it.
because he was saying it takes a little push, like you just said. That little push for a lot of people would be
Hey,
would be the murder or like somebody
Thomas
else
Wayne.
murdering. Not Thomas
Oh, the
Wayne.
three- the
Of
three
the
guys
of
on
the
the
3 guys
subway.
on the subway.
Yeah.
For the other people, I'm saying, you know, that little push, and then you know and then there was all of a sudden a riot. He didn't act out again until that riot in public.
Yeah, and then also when he started realizing that people were like kind of praising his morally terrible and looked down upon act of murder,
right.
he was like, "Oh shit! Like people are fucking with this. I guess I am being myself.
do
I guess
exist.
I am doing
I do
something."
But that's the
exist.
thing. For the first time in his
That's what
life,
he's
he
saying.
felt included.
Yeah.
For the first time in his life, he like he said on the show, like he just flat out said, he's like, yeah, I murdered them, and I don't regret. I felt good.
I have nothing to
Like,
lose. That's
yeah.
what he
Oh,
said.
also when he was speaking to damn, I forgot his name, the voice actor for Miles' dad. That's homeboy.
Yeah, that was
you know
Homeboy.
what I'm talking about.
the guy at Arkham.
Yeah,
Yeah, the guy at
yeah.
Arkham.
So he was
Shout
like,
out Arkham.
he told him, he was like, you know, I fucked up.
Yeah.
I did something really bad, and you know, I thought it was gonna bother me, and
It didn't.
didn't. I feel great. I feel
And the
fine.
guy's
And
like,
then,
you know what, man? I'm just an administrator.
yeah, exactly. And then you get
Like, you
to
should
know,
see somebody.
yeah, exactly. And you
And
get
he's
to,
like, I already tried that shit.
and you get to know the terrible truth about his upbringing, that he was physically abused.
First of all, adopted, lied to.
lied to.
Dude, was chained to the kid was
Fucking
chained to a radiator.
And my girl was like, "Oh, word."
starved,
Like,
with beatings all like.
Going back to my previous point of how it could have all been in his own mind that he created the scenario.
yeah.
We've never seen Thomas Wayne as a dick.
We've never seen really Thomas Wayne at all, though.
Yeah,
No,
we never.
well,
He has brief moments in certain films,
yeah, but like you could tell he wasn't the way he was portrayed.
exactly.
In this
He's
film.
always presented as this.
Batman Begins. Dude. He's not presented like that.
Aren't we always presented with him through like Bruce's memories?
That's true.
That's also true.
And memories can be skewed.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
But,
no,
I'm also thinking about like Flashpoint Paradox. We met the Batman Bruce Wayne. He's not a dick. He kills and like he's trying to find justice, but he's not a dick like that. No.
the thing
I
again,
don't
it's all
think so, dude.
subjective. The point is that this is the first time on screen where we see him like an asshole, like legit being like
Like
Yes.
you're not on his side.
Yeah,
You're not
exactly.
on his team.
You're not on anyone's team in this movie. I feel like.
No,
At that point in the movie-
I was on Arthur's side.
Up until
I'm like, okay.
When was
he's
your
the
switching
Joker.
point?
yeah.
When was your switching
when did
point?
you like stop
When-
feeling the sympathy so much?
When he killed his mom.
Also, killing those 3 dudes on the train wasn't like.
No.
So you think they
No.
deserve to die?
So not that they deserve to die.
It's not
It
they
was
deserve to
self-defense.
die.
It was self-defense. They were fucking his shit up.
Because-
he
'cause
didn't know
even-
if they could kill him, and he just said, fuck you.
Yeah.
And out of anger, he went and fuck you too, and he killed 2 more people. but to me, that still wasn't his breaking point.
I think the apartment. That was when I was like, alright.
Oh, and he was like, I'm having a bad day.
Nah.
No.
When he killed Homeboy, when he
the
killed
big
that
boy,
guy,
the
the
big
big
boy,
dude.
and then
And still had sympathy for the midget. Which
but
is
you
wild.
know what?
Person,
like
whatever.
that, like it's I think that was my switching point or flipping point, I guess, because that was just totally indefensible. You can't even make.
Yeah,
a
like
defense point
they
for
were
that.
just going there to
Like-
check on him. Like, hey, we
Well,
brought you a
no,
drink. Like
they were going there to check on him, but also that big guy was like, "Hey, man, what did you say to the cops? Like about the
Oh
gun?"
yeah, it was still with malintent.
with
Yeah,
malintent for
yeah.
him, but like but he still remembered that the midget. He's like, "Yo, you were the only one that was nice to me."
Yeah, he was always like, even in the beginning.
Yeah,
Like,
in the
again,
beginning.
there's
Hey Arthur, hey, what's going on?
there's moments in a film where I feel like you need to like people. I feel like dialogue is extremely overlooked, and
Right.
in a movie like this,
Yeah,
where there's not a lot of action going on, there's not a lot of violence
Yep.
and stuff.
You
It's
have
just
to pay attention to
exactly.
the dialogue.
What makes everything that much more impactful is like the little subtle moments. Like for example, the mundane. Again, like when he's just dancing and all that stuff, and we're just like, again, contorting his body and all that, and we're just like, what the fuck is he doing? When after he kills everyone,
when he went to the fridge.
when he went to the fridge and took everything out, and then like, it's kind of like, yo, this is legit somebody. Like the transformation is insane.
You see all
Yeah.
like the pent up aggression, the pent up hate,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Like,
And
just
even when he found out
flow.
about, like, when he started to, like, notice the truth about what his mom was going through, he was like, his mother was, like, scared of him. She went to the room. He's like, I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
Right.
Like, I get it. But, like, just tell me the truth and stuff. And then it's just, like, it's kind of, it's weird because this film is Heath Ledger's speech in Dark Knight.
yeah.
We just need one bad day.
That's all that took.
That's
and he
all
said
that
it when he was
fucking
sitting on the
take.
couch
Yeah.
to Domino.
That's all
He
that
was
fucking
like,
takes.
I'm having a bad day.
That's all it fucking
It's
takes.
crazy how he imagined. Like at first he called it. Zoom called it. At first I thought I was like, why is Shawty with him?
Nah, I knew that was a
And it was all in his
a
head.
sleight of hand because
Every time he would have some kind of outside interaction, I felt like she was either off screen or like, oh, I'm gonna go get a coffee. She never comes back.
yeah.
Like
Right.
at the hospital, I'm gonna go get
Yeah.
a coffee.
Yeah.
Like
And
never
also
comes back.
when he's
And
like
then-
actually doing
On the-
something, he's not directly looking at her. I feel
exactly
like.
the stand up comedy,
always off
like
to the
it's
side.
always just like
Yeah. But it's
Yeah,
crazy to
just
think, like,
in
that's
front
what's
of
going
the
on
wall.
in his head. Like, he's trying to have someone there to fill the void. And not only that, someone he met in an elevator for about a minute and who did...
made that much of an
and
impression.
Made a gesture, going back to what you're saying, like, it's not much about action, but she made a gesture like this, and that stuck with him. You know what I mean? It's
Something
like,
as simple as that.
yeah, simple as a finger gun to the head.
But
Yeah, just
that's
the-
Made it
and
stick
that
with
right
him.
there. It's funny. The trigger for him delusion, like having these grand delusions, is the reason why I don't think it was all a dream.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's-
Because
I think it was very
who would
much
who
real.
would say, okay, yeah, like I met this totally fictional person who maybe had even like it's like a dream within a dream.
which it could be.
Like I don't think he would. I mean,
No,
I,
no, no.
not?
Wait. You're saying that you legit think that she was with him all those moments?
No.
Oh.
I'm saying when because he's saying when he was talking to at the end when he was talking to that Arkham Asylum person,
Yeah.
and they were like, and he's like, oh, it's a joke, you won't get it, right? But
I have a take about that.
I also do too.
like I think that it was real. I think the joke is that,
Oh, you got to take about the joke. What the joke is?
I think the joke is
Yeah,
is-
no, but another reason what we discussed yesterday too was why we don't think the whole movie was a joke is because he said, "Oh, I just thought of a joke," and then it cut to Bruce, little Bruce, with his parents dead on the floor, and then back to the scene. He's like, "And you, but you wouldn't
Fam.
get it."
Editing.
Which I think, yes,
Editing, my
amazing.
guys.
Amazing.
Which I think was Todd Phillips like throwing that in there and saying, Hey, for the comic book fans, there you go.
For those Christopher
me, bro,
knowledge.
I
Yo,
goosebumps.
I'm right now. Yeah, just talking about it.
I'm like, yo, in 20 years, your ass about to get beat.
For real.
Because that man gonna grow up and bust your ass. Because he gonna be the greatest superhero of all time. No cap. Eat my ass.
Oh my.
Funk Master Flex
Stop.
You heard it here first. Nah, but the thing, another moment that really stood out to me, that was just like,
Yep.
well, guys, you're gonna hear some smooth breakdown of the Joker now. Now that it's right here. ASMR Joker. Nah, but
Joker.
no, but something that really, again, something else that was really profound was, you remember when he was reenacting himself being in the show, when he was rehearsing,
Yeah.
and then like that's when he shot by mistake, right?
Yeah.
He shot the gun by mistake. I guess he was rehearsing the joke where he said goes and kills himself.
Yeah. He was debating. I think he was debating on killing himself or killing him.
Exactly. I think that in that moment he was like, you know what?
Fuck this.
Fuck this. I'm not gonna kill myself. I'm gonna kill this asshole because
He
he
made
notices
fun of me.
how he was getting ridiculed and all that stuff.
He even told him, he's like, you didn't want me on the show. You
Exactly.
wanted,
You want to
made
make
fun of me.
You want to make fun of me now.
Exactly.
You want to make a fool out of me now, and it completely flips his interpretation and even our interpretation of who we thought Robert De Niro was like, because in his, again, he comes off as the late night show host as lovable,
Right.
charismatic,
Funny,
like
yeah.
genuine and stuff, and he always says like, and even through Arthur's eyes when he imagined himself being there.
Yeah, he's like,
Like,
when they hugged
come
each
on
other.
down. He's like,
That's your
listen,
heroes,
these
though.
lights,
That's
all
how
that
you-
stuff is bullshit. Like, I'm just like you.
Right.
I'm just like you. And it's like, you're a good guy. I wish I had a kid like you, and stuff like that. Stuff that persona that was imprinted on him went out the window for reasons that we don't know. He just decided right there. To me, he was just like, you know what? I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yo,
gonna kill. I'm
You
not
thought it
gonna
was
kill
spur of the
myself.
moment thing on the show.
No. I think that in that moment on his couch before he
Oh.
shot the gun by mistake, where he went like this and then he slumped down and then he went back like this and you see his freaking rib cage and he's just
word.
he's just like, you know what? I'm gonna kill this guy.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
there, I feel like it connected right there,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
fuck.
So another couple of things. If no one's read or watched the animated series of The Dark Knight Returns, that
Go see it right now. Fucking amazing.
Funk Master Flex
God
Night.
damn it.
But no, that's literally what he did. He killed the show host. He went up to the camera. It was
A very
perfect.
huge nod to
again,
that.
Todd Phillips going, "Hey, comic book fans, here.
Shout out to you.
Still, here you go. It's still a comic book movie." But another thing. Sorry, I want to go back to this. Another interpretation that I got
What's up?
for when he was like, "Oh, can I tell you?" He's like laughing, and then it pans out to Batman and his
Right.
parents getting killed. So the whole thing has always been, especially in the Killing Joke, all it takes is one bad day. What I think the joke was that Bruce had a bad day, a really bad day, when he was 10 years old, but he didn't turn out the way Joker did. Like, I think that's what made it funny. He's like, I had a bad day and I turned out like this, but this kid just had a bad day and he's gonna turn out. They're the same. That's what makes Joker love Batman.
I still think that's surface though, because that joke, like,
But how would he have known?
No, it was just there for just there for our interpretation.
I don't know.
No,
bro.
I'm saying
I think
would
he
Joker?
knows.
No. I'm saying how would Joker have known that Bruce's parents
No,
got killed?
you're taking too literal.
I think he knows. I
Right.
think he knows because I think from the moment that of the riot to when now he's admitted,
Right. He
Word
definitely
has
knows
gotten
yeah,
out.
exactly.
Word has gotten out. The news breaks.
There was some aftermath, you believe?
Yeah, I think that him realizing, like, literally just because he had a shitty night on the train,
Now he's creating all these other.
Thomas Wayne is dead, Martha Wayne is dead, Bruce Wayne is now an orphan.
Right.
It's
a full circle for him.
it's literally like, again, and it goes
That's a
deeper
good
than that
point.
as well, because it's like, it's almost like an unintentional domino effect.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh
no
shit.
pun intended. because
Exactly,
Domino's
like
in the movie.
Wow.
Stop!
No, say. Nah, but like,
I was getting ready. Till's like,
and wait, there was another point where I was okay. I guess, all right. There's two things I didn't like about the film. the first thing that I didn't like, I think they could have chosen a better song for him, like his victory moment
What
going
did they
down
do
the
again?
steps. It was.
I like the song they played when he was getting out the elevator.
With the Frank Sinatra joint.
Was it? No.
That's live.
Nah, they played some joint where I was like, "Ooh," like it made you feel like it's a
that
pump-up
was
scene.
that was the that's like the overall score of the film, like the violins.
The overall score is
fam, that superb.
Superb.
yeah. I can agree with that.
What is
I
it?
can
Nah,
agree
but
with that.
nah,
Where it's
I think they either could have just used
shake that levitate. You see, they could have used that one. You guys saw that meme? And he
No.
does the kick. He's like dun 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 dun.
Oh, they actually like dubbed the
he
song.
posted,
Oh
he
my
posted
God.
it. He posted it.
Nah, but like I just think that they could have gone either with a completely different song, or it could have just been the slow violin, like the very like eerie sounding soundtrack, like of him just like
Right.
kind of celebrating him becoming himself and being like
Well-
like him doing that. It's sort of this manic bliss.
Right.
I don't know how else to describe it. It's like this weird trance that he's in, like constantly, like, and like my girl asked me, like, why do you think he's dancing, like when he's on his own and stuff? I'm like, because this is all a show to him.
Right. Yeah.
Like he has to have that gravitas. Like, look, like I'm
Performing.
I'm finesse. Like I'm finesse.
Yeah.
I'm
it,
free.
It
I'm
also
myself.
goes back to his comic book counterpart. It's like the Joker never does anything
With
without
reason.
No, not like he always does something for the purpose of putting on a show, and like
Whether it's a
for
show
the
you
mo-
want to see or not.
for the most part to get Batman's attention.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
But in this case, obviously, since we don't have
Just
Batman,
to
like, it
show
was just
everybody.
just to show everyone else. Yeah.
Yeah, but like on
What was
top of
the other
that,
thing?
another subtle thing was when he got jumped by those kids.
Yeah.
'Cause the flour just started leaking.
Yeah.
As he was
You
like wincing and stuff, I'm just like, bro. And
I
then
thought
just
you didn't-
Joker. Like it
No,
just,
but what
was the
did
other thing you liked?
You had another.
Oh,
point
the
you
other
liked.
thing I didn't like is that it finished.
But I love the way it ended, like the end.
No, but I think.
Yeah.
All right, a take that I have. I think you know what I think it should. I would have cut to black. What's so funny? It's a joke. You wouldn't get it.
And it's
Cut
out.
right there.
That'd been
If
fire.
that
That
shit would
would've
have
been
cut
fire.
right there, I would have been like, yo,
But I love.
No,
like,
I loved him walking out with the bloody footprints.
that was great too.
So he killed her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he
I
killed
killed
her.
her.
Did he kill Domino and her daughter?
No.
I think he killed Domino.
You think he killed Domino?
Yeah.
How?
Because she was nice. Well, like not nice, but
No,
he
he had
didn't,
no-
He didn't have a bad experience with
He
her.
didn't
So
have-
then how the... So you're not going to call the cops on him? A man just shows up in your house, creeps the
Well-
fuck out of you.
Well, no.
All right,
the
but we-
cops were looking for him regardless.
Exactly, they were looking for.
So
They were
she
trying
was-
to.
She don't know
wait,
that.
wait, but how are you
Yes,
coming
they
to?
were.
Wait, how are you getting to this point where he might have killed her if he was outside?
I'm just saying, he could have killed her.
Nah, he could have.
Like,
I agree.
he
Yeah,
could have
but
killed
I don't-
both
I
don't
of
think he
them.
did.
Right in the fucking apartment.
No, but I'm saying, where in the story do you put that puzzle piece that he might have done that?
I think he did
When
it
he
right
said,
there.
"I'm having a
I'm
bad
having-" And he
day.
turned around and she was just like,
But he walked right out after he said that.
No, it was
you didn't
a
see
cut-
him
it was a
walk right
cutscene.
out.
It cut.
He just left. He was walking down the hallway.
Right.
Like there
It
wasn't.
didn't show her afterwards. Like
It didn't
nada.
show her.
Yeah,
she
but he
never
didn't-
appeared again in the film.
He didn't look like
She-
he.
Right. It didn't seem like he just had killed someone. He
And
could've
notice
done
how
it.
every time he does do a kill, there is some form of blood on him.
That is also true. Yo, like
When he
with
got
the-
jumped on the train, he had a bloody nose.
Yes.
But
When
it
he
was his
killed,
own
when he
blood.
killed the big dude.
No, I'm just saying in
It-
general, he has his own blood. He has blood
I
or his
guess,
own blood
yeah.
on him.
I guess, yeah. Maybe he,
had-
maybe he
had
didn't.
the-
but I
the
mean,
face paint
I don't
and
know.
He had the guy's blood on him. That was dope.
Oh,
That was
my
dope.
girl thinks that he freestyles certain aspects of his behavior, like when he's listening to Frank Sinatra. That I will never hear that song the same again. By the way, that's live.
That was
like-
at the very end, right? That was the
Yeah,
ending.
like I will never hear that song the same again because he's here painting his face. He's like grooving and stuff, and then he paints his tongue. Hey,
Oh, that's right.
Get help.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
But like, dude, honestly, we could go on hours.
Yeah,
to
we could
interpret
go on
this
hours.
movies.
Hours
And, like,
and hours and hours.
For y'all that have also watched it, you know, give us your interpretation.
Yeah, we're-
what
really,
did you
please.
We want to
Listen
hear
to
everyone's
the whole
interpretation.
podcast, please.
and on
If
top
you,
of
if you got
that,
to this,
If you got to this
did.
point, you might as well just keep
we should
listening.
add that in the beginning.
Yes.
Listen to the whole thing, please. Even if it takes you 4 days.
Who cares?
yeah, but I mean, again, we could go on, and I could go on with other theories, but
Exactly.
you wouldn't get it.